Welcome home to your hub for grand strategic world building, 19th century, black powder, tactical and other alternate history gaming with me, your humble and gracious player host, Bank 60s. YouTube fans, friends, new recruits, and veterans to the channel, once again, I thank you for being here with me. Thank you so much. I've put together a special campaign video for you today in my ongoing Union campaign in Grand Tactician, the Civil War, 1861 to 1865. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the other side. Enjoy. Also burns, I think I may kind of shade more towards the center, but we'll move up toward the bell and toll houses toward the victory location at Milltown and the crossing, and we'll stop our artillery at Pritchard's Hill. We'll swing this side of the army around to this end of Sandy Ridge. And here we begin the Battle of South Branch Bridge.
The Army faced a single Confederate corps under Simon Buckner, his reinforcements still days away, so it was the perfect time to pounce, but his troops fought fiercely.
Wow, one hell of a firefight here.
Near a crossing called South Branch Bridge, Union and Confederate forces engaged in a fierce firefight as the sun fell below the horizon.
Enfield rifled muskets doing some damage. That'll be good. Attack. Got 3 divisions up.
A little over an hour and a half into the fight, Buckner's CSA troops were putting serious pressure on the Union center at South Branch Bridge. The Union Army commander, Mexican war hero Winfield Scott, knew the situation could go sideways quickly and rushed his reserves forward to stop them.
Nah, we broke here. Let's push with Cavender. Come on.
The plan was sound. The outcome remained in doubt.
Lost Cavender. Kimball. Come on up on the flank. Man alive. Finally driving these guys back.
A Confederate brigade under General Albert Pike pushed to break the line, but were repulsed with heavy casualties.
No. Woo! Okay, boys. Bloody battles ensue.
It was the rebels' high water mark as night began to fall.
Pike making his attack. We've run off Fry now. You rally. Oh, a major victory for us.
Bringing an end to the fighting and convincing the CSA General Simon Buckner to pull his troops back. It was a costly victory. More than 6,000 Union men killed, wounded, or captured, but at a greater cost for the Confederates, who lost over 9,000.
Okay.
The victory gave Union forces a chance to press their advantage near the capital, crossing the Potomac River back into northeastern Virginia again. However, about 2 weeks later, Buckner's reinforcements under Joe Johnson made their attack.
Okay, Johnson came at us here. I'm a little torn as to what I want to do here.
They would catch Winfield Scott's Army of North Virginia tired and battle-weary, but Scott had a plan for that, surveying the battlefield he'd won just 14 days before. Blue-clad troops would lure the Confederates in.
and we'll fight them in the town for a little while. We just want to try to see if we can draw them into our artillery batteries.
The Union advantage in long-range artillery was massive, and so pulling the rebels into prepared defenses seemed the best approach. Then, the first shots rang out, and the Battle of Milltown was underway.
We got them a little flummoxed here. Perfect. There may be a chance for us to attack. Maybe. Let's rejigger this one.
Confederate forces came forward with a furious attack against Federal troops defending the town.
Bugle are Green and Preston.
This delaying action would be deadly work.
Hold for just a little while longer. There we go. Open up on them. Oof. Their guns up. Looks like ours are limbering up. Excellent. Double time, boys. Let's have this unit go ahead and move to...
The retreat was a success, however, and the trap was laid. Thankfully for the Union defenders, CSA troops now in control of the town had little choice but to advance on the devastating Yankee artillery batteries or be forced to retreat.
There we go.
One rebel brigade after another tested the defenses on Pritchard's Hill and Sandy Ridge,
Shot at. We'll send some more skirmishers out.
but couldn't break through.
Let's have them attack. Up the hill, we can hit them. With our sharpshooters. The day's fighting. Gotta hand it to them. They'll go down in history. Oh my. Oh my. Oh, look at all of them that are getting killed over here. They're in bad shape now. They're falling back. We're getting hit on the flank here, though. Double time. Yeah, I think they're going to be on the retreat now. There they go. They're breaking. Yeah, I'd say we did pretty good there. And we lost sight of the Army of Tennessee.
Little did we know in the theater we had another surprise coming. The Confederate Army, which had been operating in northern Kentucky, redeployed east up the Ohio River.
They're always going to find a little spot to squeak through, the AI is, in this game.
Here, they approached a small Union force defending Wheeling, West Virginia, and shortly after disembarking September 28th, attacked. The Union Department of West Virginia would use concentrated artillery and the difficult terrain to its advantage.
Down on the top of the hill here. Okay, brigade with skirmishers, yeah. Good. Open up on them. Nighttime engagement, start things off. Ah, skirmishers broke. Those parrots are supposed to be pretty effective. Buell's troops.
Don Carlos Buell's service would prove invaluable in this region.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Confederates made repeated attacks across Hardman's Creek.
Broken. Bunch of dead cavalrymen crossing the stream. Let's go ahead and bring this brigade out. Protect the guns. We'll back up to the breastworks if we need to.
Driving straight into the Union line at Bottom Mountain. But Buell's brave troops held firm.
guns should be able to just blast them with cannon. Oh, blam! Blam! That flank is just getting waylaid. Alright. Off they go. Just about bloody in here. The swamp. Range again.
His brigade of inexperienced soldiers seemed very adept in combat, rallying the Union defenders to a victory in the end.
Ooh, this is looking alright. They're falling back.
Things were finally looking up in Northern Virginia. Winfield Scott's army stood firm, blocking the road to Grafton and Wheeling. Confederate forces hiding in the Shenandoah Valley were battered and beaten from constant fighting, and 2 more Union armies were poised to strike south outside D.C. The CSA Army of Virginia was spread south and east of Winchester, now numbering perhaps 50,000 men. Johnson's depleted corps positioned near Harper's Ferry, West Virginia, while Buckner and John Bell Hood's battered corps defended behind the Blue Ridge Mountains. The newly formed Union Army of the Potomac would threaten Fredericksburg and Gordonsville from the north, while the veteran Army of Northeastern Virginia would take on fresh replacements and continue to recover closer to the capital. As a lull crept over the campaign, Union armies took the opportunity to implement a massive new reorganization program, introducing the corps system into its ranks, shaking up the command structure, but making each field army that much more potent. Scott's battered Army of North Virginia was reorganized into wings, right, left, and center. However, unfortunately for him, the designated left-wing commander, Major General Alpheus Williams, was ordered to muster his wing far to the north in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Also of note, the earlier sacked Northeastern Virginia Army commander Major General Robert Patterson would get a second chance commanding Scott's center wing. The right wing would fall under the command of Major General Isaac Stevens. It was well into October, roughly 1 month since Milltown, when Confederate corps decided to strike once more.
Johnson on the move.
This was an unwelcome surprise. Winfield Scott's Army of North Virginia would have only its right and center wings present for the battle, under strength by nearly 10,000 men. Meanwhile, rebel forces would be closing in with close to 35,000 of their own.
Thanks again for watching, guys. And remember, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more alternate history gaming. I'm Bank 60s. We'll see you on the next one.